This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
The visiting top boss of the BJP says the DMK was the Congress's outsourced agent to deliver the national loot, the people's money. Amma launches fresh salvos against the Spectrum King's misdeeds, demands why and how A. Raja got away with flouting so many rules. It's a setback for the Queen Bee. A special court in Karnataka rejects Jayalalitha's plea in the disproportionate assets case. AIADMK's history for MLA Shekhar Babu. He meets the DMK chief to join hands with the ruling party ahead of the polls.
அனைக்க கரங்கள் நீட்டியதால் இன்றைக்கு திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகத்தில் என்னை நான் இணைத்துக் கொண்டிருக்கின்றேன்.
உண்மையா உழைக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு உத்தமர்.
After the big hint over a vacant seat for the chief minister's post by Karunanidhi, the brothers throw a surprising united front. The CPM and the AIADMK get their seat negotiations in place. Round 1 of the talks take place today. In a case of mistaken identity, a woman claims she falls prey to the police force's brutal treatment, says she was raped and harassed. And the residents and employees of the OMR stretch are the black-faced victims of the smoke billowing from the garbage dump site in their neighborhood. Welcome to the news tonight with me, Evelyn Matthew, bringing you the day's updates from the city, state and nation this Saturday night. A look at the other headlines before we get you those stories in detail. The CBI finally files an FIR in Mumbai's Adarsh Society case, names former Chief Minister Ashok Chavan, but sources say he's not an accused. Adding insult to injury, Indian students duped in a US immigration racket are now made to wear radio trackers. Tibetan religious leader, the Karmapa, is questioned about his Chinese links. His second aide is arrested. More notices for cancellation of 2G licenses have been issued, says the telecom minister, promises a level playing field. The Egypt protests escalate. Hosni Mubarak fires his cabinet but refuses to stand down. President Obama urges restraint. And the Australian Open remains the slam that Lee H couldn't conquer. The Bryan brothers take home the doubles title. On to our top story. Well, the big boss of the BJP, Nitin Gadkari, was in the city today and left no chance to take pot shots at the DMK or former minister A. Raja as well, saying they were responsible for the shame to the nation. Targeting Congress over the issue of corruption, BJP's president alleged it had outsourced DMK for looting the people's money in the 2G spectrum allocation. Gadkari alleged that the year 2010 had become a year of scandal with scams in the 2G, Commonwealth Games, the Adarsh Housing Society and the Bofors case. Gadkari also claimed the total money involved in the 2G scam was to the tune of 2,50,000 crore rupees, which was 3% of the country's GDP. In the city, to lead the final leg of the Tamarai Yatra, the National Opposition Party wants to infuse a new life into the state of Tamil Nadu and reach out to the masses directly ahead of the assembly polls. Crises like the price rise, inflation that have plagued the common man were also some of the main features in the Lotus rally today. Well, in other news, making headlines, slamming the former telecom minister apart from the opposition party at the centre was also the state's main opposition party. Jayalalitha has launched a fresh set of attacks on Raja, questioning as to why he had flouted TRI's recommendations, according to which the spectrum allocation should have been done through auction. She has demanded whether Raja got the cabinet sanction to allocate the 2G spectrum on priority basis and alleged that he had not gone by the recommendations of TRI. Continuing her scathing salvos, she has demanded an explanation as to why the Spectrum King had rejected the Law Ministry's proposal that the spectrum price should be fixed by an empowered group of ministers. Coming down heavily on the Chief Minister as well for defending Raja, she said the DMK chief had been deceiving the people. On Karunanidhi's claim that mobile charges had come down due to the policies pursued by Raja, she added that it was in universal practice that the charges would come down if the usage was more. Well, in other news, making headlines but alongside the whole spectrum saga In a major shift in spectrum allocation policies, Telecom Minister Kapil Sibal today announced that henceforth no license would be issued bundled with spectrum, and also the operators would have to pay a market price for an additional spectrum. He also announced that there would be a uniform rate of revenue share to be paid by the operators as spectrum charged to the government as part of the level playing field for all players.
I am aware of the fact that there are several issues now pending in courts. We have also given notices. We have also taken a decision to give more notices for cancellation. Now, in the event the licenses are cancelled, then the dispensation will be under the new policy. The other thing that we are going to do is to have a uniform rate for everybody for revenue sharing. Right? All revenue sharing arrangements would be uniform, so that there is no telecom operator, because we want to make the service technology neutral, so that everybody is on a level playing field, no discrimination against anybody.
Now, legally and politically, though, it has been a day of setbacks for the Queen Bee. A special court today rejected Ms. Jayalalitha's application seeking more time to point out defects in translated evidence of all the 259 witnesses in the trial of the disproportionate assets case. Rejecting an application filed by the Defence Counsel earlier, a special court judge stated that wherever corrections were necessary, it would be taken into consideration at an appropriate stage. Meanwhile, the judge directed the interpreter to have a look at the defects pointed out by the defence in the translated evidence and compare it with the original version in Tamil. If there were mistakes still found, they will have to be furnished before the court in a week's time. 2 years back, the Defence Counsel had submitted that since the prosecution had taken 1 year to translate the documents from Tamil to English, they would need at least 6 months to point out the defects and give the correct version of the translated evidence of all witnesses. Now, if that blow wasn't big enough for Jayalalitha, then came another in the form of Shekhar Babu, a man sidelined for long and stripped of his powerful posts in the AIADMK. MLA Shekhar Babu has finally knocked at the doors of Gopalapuram just ahead of the crucial assembly polls in the state. 2 days after several rumours of him switching camps came around, Mr. Babu today met the DMK patriarch and officially joined Karunanidhi's fold. The MLA confessed that he was dejected that his party leader had no faith or trust in him, and that triggered this crossover to the DMK. Ever since the DMK assumed power in 2006, the main opposition in the state has been losing its important second-line leaders and MLAs to the ruling party. Some of the prominent ones being the former AIADMK Minister Anita Radhakrishnan, Kovilpatti MLA L. Radhakrishnan, Minister V. Satyamurthy, and now Shekhar Babu. Babu has submitted his resignation letter from the MLA post to Karunanidhi and said that it was up to the DMK leader now to take a decision.
என்னை நம்பி அழைத்திருக்கின்ற தலைமையின் ஆதரவில் நம்பிக்கையோடு திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகத்தில் என்னை நான் நினைத்துக் கொண்டிருக்கின்றேன். என்னை அடித்து துவைக்க கைகளும் எட்டி உதைக்க கால்களும் குனிந்திருந்த நேரத்தில் இதோ அரவணைக்க நாங்கள் இருக்கின்றோம் என்று இரு கரங்களை நீட்டி தமிழகத்துடன் முதலமைச்சர் ஒப்பாரும் மிக்காரும் இல்லாத தலைவர் கலைஞர் அவர்கள் அணைக்க கரங்கள் நீட்டியதால் இன்றைக்கு திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகத்தில் என்னை நான் இணைத்துக் கொண்டிருக்கின்றேன்.
When asked about the trend of switching over from the AIADMK to the DMK, here's what the new entrant to the ruling party had to say.
திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகத்தை பொறுத்தளவில் இந்த இயக்கத்திற்கு ஒரே தலைவர் டாக்டர் கலைஞர் ஒருவர்தான். ஆனால் அனைத்திந்திய அண்ணா திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகத்தை பொறுத்தளவில் பொதுச் செயலாளர் என்று புரட்சி தலைவி அவர்கள் அந்த இயக்கத்தில் தொண்டர்களால் ஏற்றுக்கொள்ளப்பட்டிருந்தாலும் பல்வேறு பொதுச் செயலாளர்கள் அந்த கட்சியிலே திரைமறைவில் இருப்பதால் தொடர்ந்து யாரும் மக்கள் செல்வாக்கு பெற்று தொண்டர்கள் செல்வாக்கு பெற்றவர்கள் யாரும் தொடர்ந்து அந்த இயக்கத்தில் இருக்க முடியாது என்று ஒரு நிலைக்கு இன்றைக்கு தள்ளப்பட்டிருக்கிறார்கள்.
But by the looks of it, it seems that the doors of the DMK have always been wide open for the former AIADMK MLA, with even the Deputy Chief Minister all praises for Babu's squeaky clean reputation.
நல்ல ஒரு சிறப்பான தொண்டர், உண்மையாக உழைக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு உத்தமர். அவர் திமுக சேர்ந்திருப்பது திமுகவுக்கு உள்ளபடியே ஒரு பெரிய சிறப்பான வரவேற்பு தலைவர் கலைஞர் கொடுத்திருக்கிறாரு. அதனால நல்ல ஒரு செயல் வீரர் திமுக சேர்ந்திருப்பது உள்ளபடியே எங்களுக்கெல்லாம் மகிழ்ச்சி அளிக்கிறது.
Well, just if you thought all of this was pretty much expected, well, here's something that comes as quite a surprise. Days after Karunanidhi hinted at retaining just the post of the president in his party, leaving speculations about the heir to the chief minister's chair in the open, brothers Aragiri and Stalin, who are often seen pitching battles against each other in this race, were the brothers in arms today. Visiting Stalin met Aragiri today with a greeting ahead of his birthday, that is tomorrow. Well, the stage is clearly set and the political parties are talking, while the induction, ousters and the quits add the dramatics factor to the state's political parties. Members of the CPM and senior AIADMK functionaries today kick-started their first round of seat-sharing talks. A delegation led by the CPM State Secretary G. Ramakrishnan went on for more than 2 hours of talks. The CPM was a part of the DMK in the 2006 assembly elections, but went on to break off their alliance later, only to tie up with the AIADMK in the Lok Sabha polls.
Negotiating team of AIADMK and the team of CPIM met today. We have discussed the strategy to face the assembly elections. We have discussed how this front should win all the 234 constituencies. We have decided to meet again. We will decide next meeting.
Well, coming up on the bulletin, for the Indian student in the US, a prisoner-like treatment is what he gets. They are now tagged by their sham universities.